Today's episode is brought to you by Gray Block Pizza. Gray Block Pizza. Today's episode is also presented to you by none other than Ridge Wallet. And Ridge Wallet is, everybody used to have a wallet in the back of their pants, which I think honestly sounds a little bit dirty. But it's nice to know that now people are doing something different. People are on the cusp, on the precipice of novice ideas and walletry. And one of those precipices is the Ridge. Ridge Wallet, it's a front pocket carry. Tired of just wondering where your money is and realizing it's right on your butt in the back of your pants? Well, now you can have your money up front with you, moving forward just like you are. Visit ridgewallet.com/Theo and use code Theo at checkout for 10%. That's code Theo, Theo, for 10% off at ridgewallet.com/Theo. It's Christmas time, so get a Ridge Wallet. Today's episode is, it's a special type of man. Every now and then you run into a sensei, if you will. And this man is that. He's kind of that, a little bit of that kind of Latino Vietnamese sort of male Rapunzel, he's just up and down the walls, And he's a really talented man. He's the first two-time guest that we've had here on This Past Weekend. And there was some contention. The episode, we didn't get it out. And then, the files kind of disappeared. And they finally popped back up. And so, I'm not saying look into it. That's all I'm saying. But here we are, happy to have him the second time and happy to at last get this episode out here on This Past Weekend, Mr. Eddie Bravo. Dude, you're drinking an energy drink?
Just woke up.
Yeah, but still, dude.
Why?
I feel like I can't even imagine when you wake up, it must be like, is it intense? What does it feel like? Because you seem like, because I feel like some people wake up and they're like,
no way. No,
and I feel like
had to
you
drag my ass.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you would wake up standing up already. Like, honestly, man.
No, man. I wish.
Did you ever?
I wish I was one of the. No, man. I've always been a horrible morning person.
Yeah?
Horrible.
Now, whenever you were a kid, what was it like? Did your mom, did you share a room with a brother or something? What was it like when you were a kid and you woke up? Would your mom come in and be like, time for school? What was that like?
Well, man, growing up, between 5 and 10, I got up early and got the fuck to school as quickly as possible because I had a stepdad living with us, and he was...
he wasn't cool?
No. He wasn't cool at all because he was my stepdad, but he was my older brother and younger sister's real dad.
Oh, wow.
Older brother. So my mom married Alfonso Bravo, had my brother, Alfonso Jr. They divorced.
Right.
Mom's single with the kid, with my brother. She always wanted to be a singer. So she's always out at the clubs, and she met this club promoter, my dad, my biological dad, who was married with 5 kids. But my mom was a little hottie when she was, 18, and he saw her in line, just dragged her in, gave her that VIP.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Did he?
He's like,
yeah,
you get that
penis,
VIP.
huh?
You get that.
Man.
So he was all over my mom, and they started dating. He was married. It was a weird situation. He got her pregnant with me. Got her. She was. My whole family, including her, is from Santa Ana, California. Santa Ana. That's where they put all the Mexicans.
Right.
Because all the white people in the '60s, they left LA. There's too many Mexicans, so they left. Yep. So they went down to Orange County, El Toro, Laguna Niguel, all that shit. Irvine. They were escaping the Mexicans, but
in Santa Ana's where they have a lot of cars. People do a lot of cool cars and stuff out
where
there.
they fucked up. They thought they could escape, but where are they going to put the people to clean their shit? You know what I mean? Cut their grass and all that. So they
a lot of the service industry, they got to bring that.
Yeah, so they had to designate a city for the Mexicans, for the
that was
service.
Santa Ana?
And that was Santa Ana.
Wow.
So all around Santa Ana was white people, but that's where they put the Mexicans.
So, and that's where you guys were?
Yeah. Then my mom went to downtown LA to go clubbing back in the 60s and met my dad. Then he moved her. He got her an apartment. He was still married.
Wow.
He got an apartment. That was his little side piece on the side.
Wow.
He had a side piece that already had a kid who's pregnant. And
dang,
he was telling my mom he was going to divorce his wife. And he had 5 kids. But she wouldn't allow the divorce. She thought she was hardcore religious, super Catholic, and thought, divorce meant you're going to hell.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't grant him the divorce. So then he started telling her
dude, that
all
was so
about
nice
me.
of your mom, though, wasn't it? Like your mom's like, I don't want you to get divorced from that lady because
No, not my mom. His wife.
Oh, his wife said.
Yes, his wife wouldn't allow.
Oh,
the
she
divorce.
said so the guy was going to marry your mother.
Yeah, my mom wanted him to get a divorce.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
and then his wife was like, "No, we're not going to do that because of what people will think, etc."
And she didn't want to go to hell.
Wow.
So he couldn't get a divorce. That's what he said. Maybe this is maybe the story is a little different, but that's the story that I got. So he never divorced her. So my mom eventually, had my kid, and he would tell his wife and his kids about my mom and that she's pregnant. And when I was born, she's like, "Oh, he was evil.
Wow.
He was evil." He was telling them all about it. He brought his wife over to the apartment to see his son, me.
No.
Yeah.
And
How
you think
crazy
was
is
that
that?
like a control thing? You think he did that?
It
must have been a control. Like I want to be able to control the whole situation, so I'm gonna show I'm gonna have everybody meet everybody. So then it's like I'm the facilitator. You think?
Maybe it was just to drive her insane to make her divorce.
Right.
I don't know what it was, but he did that. He's like, "I just had a son. You want to go meet him?" To his wife.
And then it was you, this crazy wild son.
Yeah. And then, so my mom had enough. She said, "Fuck this clown." She went back to Orange County, Santa Ana, and now she got 2 sons. My older brother, who's 4 years, Alfonso, and me, with a different dad. So she got 2
Alfonso and Eddie, dude.
Edgar.
Awesome.
Edgar.
Oh my God, bro.
So her, my biological father's last name is Cano. So that was my last name. But what ended up happening was when my mom moved back to Santa Ana, she started dating Alfonso Bravo again.
Oh, wow.
The original asshole.
She went back.
She went back, started dating him. I remember that shit. And
were you excited at first? Do you remember?
fuck no.
Really? Oh, because you known him the whole time and knew how he was.
No, I didn't. I didn't know him. I didn't know him at all. I wasn't even born. I just heard about him. My grandfather hated him.
Oh, yeah.
My mom's father hated him because he would beat her.
Oh.
He was a dickhead. He was an alcoholic and just
He
a
was an
classic, classic
Egomaniac.
wife beater.
Oh.
Classic wife beater. And my grandfather wanted to kill him. My grandfather liked my dad, though, because when my mom was dating my dad, even though he was married,
He took care
my
of her.
grandfather was cool. They got along great. You know what I mean? And they played cards together. And he was about 13 years older than my mom. So he was like almost like
Right.
Yeah, my grandfather's age. So my grandfather had my mom when he was like 16.
Dang.
You know what I mean? So he really
that's
liked my
wild.
dad,
He
hated
did.
my stepdad, but my mom went back with my stepdad and he got her pregnant.
Why did your mom do that, do you think?
She was in love,
And
at
not
one
judging
point.
her,
She
like-
was in love at one point, and she was young, and she gave him another chance. He got her pregnant. So once he got her pregnant, I was 5 when my sister was born. So I have an older brother, younger sister, same father.
I met your sister, I think, at the Comedy Store, right? Is that her? Or is it sister-in-law who works at Live Nation?
Sister-in-law. So then at 5, they decide to try it again. But now here I am. I'm the kid that
You're the middle ground.
I'm the reminder of when my mom was messing with another guy. You know what I mean? So he fucking hated me, man.
Eddie
And
the
I don't blame him.
Bravo, dude.
I
That
don't-
could have been your
he
fighting
fucking-
name,
he
the
fucking-
Reminder.
He fucking hated me, man. He fucking hated. We know I never called him dad. From the age of 5 to 10, we lived together. It was dark. He always looked at me like if he could, he would fucking murder me, man.
But you were probably ready to take him on it too, were you?
No, I was terrified.
Really?
I tried to commit suicide. I tried to OD on a bottle of Theragram M. You know those
What is
vitamins?
that? Those vitamins?
Yeah, I tried to OD on vitamins.
And what'd you get? Just better?
I just fell asleep.
Damn. No.
What did you get? Better?
I'm just thinking like vitamins. It seemed like
I didn't have. They didn't have OxyContins back then.
Oh, thank God, huh?
You know, yeah.
Dude, what if they would have? You know?
Yeah.
And
so
why were you? Were you that sad about that? Were you like? Did it make you sad, or did it make you just angry? Do you even remember like what that was like?
He was just a dick, man. All that was a setup to. Did I wake up early?
Right.
Between the ages of 5 and 10, I woke up early to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Wow.
Because my mom, she woke up super early. Like she'd be gone by 5:30 to go to work. But he didn't have to leave till about like 7:30. So it would be, and my brother slept late. So I would be up with him in the morning.
Yeah.
So I was just, I would eat cereal and he'd be at the other side of the table. He would just sit there and just stare at me. He would do shit that I couldn't report. You know what I mean? He would just sit there and stare at me. And then when I was done with my food, he did this shit all the time. When I would walk to the kitchen, he would stand up and block the doorway to the kitchen.
Oh.
So then I would have to walk. I'm a little 8-year-old kid.
Right.
I'd have to go outside the front door, walk around the side of the house, go through the back door just to put my plate away. But it was like normal. And he would just have a smile on his face. He just did evil shit like that.
Dude, that's evil, bro.
Yeah. So, and if he had a chance to beat our ass, if he had an excuse,
oh man,
fuck yeah. Me and my brother, we would steal
bro.
NFL pencils when we were a kid and sell them at school for 10 cents.
Oh, those pencils were nice too.
We
Remember
had
how cool they
Buffalo
were?
Bills. What do you want?
Yeah.
Buffalo Bill. What do you want?
What,
Cincinnati Bengals. What do you got? What do you got? I got a Cincinnati.
Oh, nobody wants Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Exactly.
Nobody ever
Back
fucking
then,
wanted
hell
that
no.
one,
Hell no. Nobody wanted Tampa Bay back then. Because back then, they were right when they were an expansion team, like 1978.
Yeah, they were 0-16 or something.
Yeah, so we would go steal pencils, and we got caught. And my brother got caught. I didn't get caught. He got caught. I'm waiting outside of the store. They take him upstairs to the office, and I'm going, oh, shit, we're going to be busted. My stepdad's going to fuck us up. Damn. I was freaking out. I didn't know what to do. So I waited for about an hour. Then I finally went inside, and one of the guys came out and said, oh, your parents already picked him up. And I said, oh, shit. I ran home. It was like a 2-mile run, dude. I ran home.
So what are you running home for? Because if you're going to get in trouble, you figure out what.
I have to figure out
you think
what the
Alfonso's
fuck.
going to blame it on you or something?
I
Do you
don't
think
know.
you don't know?
I just have to find out.
You got to get there.
I got to find out what the fuck is going on. This could be death. So I get home. I'll never forget. I get home.
This is like La Bamba, the deleted scenes. I feel like. That's what I feel like.
Get home.
Dude.
I get home and I look down. There's a long hallway to our bedroom because me and my brother shared rooms. And my stepdad had my brother's shirt off, and this is his real blood, and he's whipping him like Kunta Kinte. Damn. He had belt to bare back and had him, and he's whoosh, and I looked down the hallway, dude, and he had the belt, and he looked back at me, dude, down the hallway, and he smiled.
No!
And he came for me, and it was my mom saved my life. You know what I mean? He was the dominant one. Whatever he fucking said went.
Yeah.
But when it came to that, she knew he was going to kill me.
Wow.
So she jumped between us like Big John McCarthy, man, and fucking stopped that shit. And she beat the hell out of me, but that was fine as long as he didn't get to. And he even knew it. He understood. He's like, I have the best excuse to beat the shit out of this guy right now. I have the best excuse. And you know what? It's probably better that I don't, because I'll probably murder this kid. My mom literally saved my life right there. It was crazy. So,
and where's that guy at now?
I don't know.
Really?
He took up when we found we would do anything. Me and my brother. My brother hated him, and that was his real dad. And we would do any extracurricular activities to get out of the goddamn house. So we joined the Boy Scouts.
Wow.
So we were on a Boy Scout trip once, and when we came back, I was 10, my brother was 14. And when we got back, my mom is beat the fuck up. Her hair's all ratted, and she's got she's all beat. And we're like, what happened, Mom? And she told us he beat the shit out of her, dragged her outside by her hair, grabbed her hair and dragged, like those world star hip hop videos.
Yeah.
Dragged her by the hair, dragged her out, beat her ass in the front yard. But my uncle lived next door. He came out with a shotgun.
Yeah.
And he was gonna blow his ass away. And he just got his keys, got in his car, left all his shit. He left all this shit, took off, and I never saw. We didn't see him for years. I mean, I ended up seeing him because he was still tight with my sister,
Right.
and my sister got married, and I'd see him at every now and then, like at her wedding or something like that. Every now and then I see him.
Did
But
you
we
ever
don't
want
ever
to
say
take
shit.
it out with him? Did you ever want to get revenge on him?
Fuck yeah. I wanted him fucking dead.
Yeah.
I wanted him dead. But I mean, I was 10 when he finally left. But when my mother told us, me and my brother were like, holy shit, she's crying. He's gone. And we're thinking, is he gone for good?
Right.
You know, as if
Yeah, was there always like a little bit of fear that he could pop back up?
And she basically said, yes, he ain't coming back. And we slowly walked down that long hallway, me and my brother. We got to our room. Fuck, we closed the door. Dude, we started jumping for joy on our beds. We were jumping. Fuck, yeah. Because we knew with him gone, shit. With him gone, we were on the streets. Like wild animals, dude. We got to do whatever we
feel like
want.
this is going to be like a heartwarming story where they're just going to be, we're so glad our mom's
he
safe.
had us under control.
Right.
He had us under control. We were
no
his
fun.
slaves. We were, I mean, the neighborhood kids, they would make fun of us because we were always cutting the grass and
Cleaning.
cutting the grass. Remember that movie Car Wash? And they had work and work. I forget how the lyrics go, but that song, the kids would sing that shit while we were working and make fun of us while they were playing.
Hilarious, dude.
You know, so. And we had to have his orange juice ready. Oh, when we got home, shit, he better have a gallon of fresh orange juice ready to go because we had connections as Mexicans. You have
Who
connections.
drinks orange juice and then beats a woman on orange juice?
Dude, orange juice was the key to him. We had next couple doors down, there was a guy, you know.
And it's all Latinos
It's
in
all,
your
it's all,
neighborhood?
it's everyone.
All Mexican.
It's all Mexican. It's all Mexican, man. It's all Mexican. All Mexicans with single moms. You know, all the husbands left. They eventually left. It was just a bunch of kids on the street,
Right.
single moms. And we had a guy down the street who picked oranges for a living. They were everywhere. So we would get these gigantic sacks, like army
He
backpack
better fucking
sacks
come through with them
for
oranges,
$5.
dude. Yeah.
For $5. And we had to have that orange juice ready. You know what he got us for Christmas once?
what?
An electric orange juice maker, man.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. And we were kind of happy about it. We were like,
That's like
he
getting
thought he
a
was hooking
slave
us
a
up.
cotton shirt,
Because, you know, we
man.
would do it like this manually, you know, but then when you got that electric one, it was orange too. You just press down and it spins for you. That was huge.
Wow.
That helped.
Oh, so you
know.
think he did that actually like a nice thing?
Yeah, like he was trying to hook us up,
Right.
But at the same time,
But at the same time, like, you're gonna be working, but I'm gonna make it a little easier on you.
Exactly.
But dude,
I'm
remember
gonna
that
whip
thing,
you,
bro?
but we're gonna have, you know, it's gonna be a different kind of leather that's soft.
Dude, I remember that orange juice thing. You would push on it, and then
and
you
it
would
would
feel
merge.
it massage your hand once it got low enough. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When it was just the rind, and it would be like,
And that orange juice was good. That's fresh squeeze.
dude.
I would fucking drink it right out of the jug and then put water in it to replace that shit. Boom.
oh, I'd have beat
We
you
did
too
that
then
shit.
if you did that. Dude, my brother or some neighborhood kid used to put his butt on that thing and fucking put like his butthole on that orange that thing and would just spin around on it, bro.
Shit.
Some local pervert.
Maybe it felt great.
But was that so? Like, were there a lot of so at that point? This is interesting because for me, I didn't know like about some of this history. So it was all. So there was like this white flight kind of thing, but then there were like a lot of the service industry, which was predominantly Mexican. They all lived in Santa Ana.
Yeah, that's where they put them.
And what was the neighborhood like? Was it fun? Was it cool? Was it? It sounded like it was fun.
Awesome, dude. It was just as soon as my stepdad was gone at 10.
Yeah.
From 10 on, it was awesome. Just a bunch of wild Mexican kids on the street. And it was weird because the street that we lived on was 6th Street and 6th Street and Bristol, and all around us were like. Traditional Mexican, you know,
Like what,
like
people with
musically,
donkeys
like
and stuff?
like no. I meant more like more the gangbanger type Mexicans all around us. But
Like
at this
cholo,
block-
is that called a cholo type?
Yeah, cholo
Okay.
type. Yeah, basically when you go to junior high school, if you're Mexican, you have to claim a gang. Even though you're not in a gang, you have to.
You got to be part of a club,
and you have to be dressed a certain way.
Right.
When you go home, you can dress any way you want, but when you go to school, you gotta have Levi's cords that are creased or Dickies that are creased.
Right. Yeah.
You have to dress the part.
Right.
And.
Oh, that's interesting.
But everybody on that block, we were all into classic rock. Like it was a bunch of Mexicans.
Yeah,
all
I remember
the
you
kids,
telling me that.
Yeah, we were all into like the kid across the street.
And you were growing long hair and stuff, so this was a different.
It was like So when I finally went to junior high at the 6th grade, I refused to dress like a cholo. I just went and looked like a white guy. I would wear like Ocean Pacific. So if you were into rock back then in the early 80s,
Right.
you wore like surfer type clothes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember Lightning Bolt, that brand. It's an old surfer brand. Lightning Bolt, Ocean Pacific.
Ocean
OP.
Pacific, I remember. I still have a shirt of theirs.
OP pants, OP shorts, OP shirts.
Yeah.
And then like, so I went to 6th grade in junior high, and I got messed with for a lot of reasons, and one of the reasons was I wasn't acting Mexican
enough.
I
Now, were
was
you
acting
defiant
white.
though? So this is interesting to me. So were you? Now, what made you? Were you like defiant of the Mexican culture or something? Not that you didn't want to be, but was there some like you didn't want to assimilate? Did you want to be different? Like what was the cause of some of that?
I was just so into rock, man. I was into Kiss.
The music got you.
Oh, the music, dude. The music brainwashed the shit out of me. The music got me hook, line, and sinker. I was chasing mansions, and I wanted to be.
No, I remember you telling me you want to be a rock and roll star.
I
you
wanted to be David Lee Roth. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I wanted to be Kiss. I wanted to,
And who did everybody else want to be? Like, who did all the Latino kids want to be?
all my friends who knows what they want to be. My friends, we formed a band and we wanted to.
Right,
be
you guys
in a
wanted-
rock
yeah, you guys
band.
were getting into
We
rock.
right away, man.
So-
The music just took our souls over, and we were always into football too.
Right.
We're into football. The two things I
So you
want. I was
guys were
chasing
really
for.
Americanized.
Totally.
Not in a bad way, but you
Totally.
guys were very Americanized.
I wanted to either be a football player
Right.
or a rock star. I was pursuing both.
Right.
And I didn't realize there was no chance at being a football player until 9th grade.
Yeah.
That's when I realized shit. No, there's no Mexicans playing football. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mexicans don't.
I think
they're
Marcus
just too small.
Mariota, I don't know if
Yeah.
he's Mexican or he just has a Latino last
Yeah, it's like
name.
there's no Chinese people playing football.
No.
You don't realize that though, because when I played football in 1979, I was 9 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and you're junior All-American. All the kids are the same size.
Junior
I was-
All-American, everybody that's
Yeah,
9
dude,
years
I was playing defensive line and middle linebacker.
Really?
I was fucking shit up.
At
And that's what I
9?
thought. I'm at 9. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be a football player in the NFL,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll be playing middle linebacker. Probably I like defense. I didn't realize that that was never gonna happen.
That wasn't gonna happen. So, but now, was there any like what is it like if you don't fit into Mexican culture? Was there any of that? Was there any kickback from like more traditional?
Oh yeah,
like-
my family.
Oh, really?
A giant Mexican family. My mom had 9 brothers and sisters, and all my aunts. We were all tight. We were all close, and they were into mariachis. And mariachis, that's traditional. And in my family, mariachis are huge. And I'm a 12-year-old, 13-year-old kid at Mexican weddings and Mexican quinceañeras, and they're playing Mexican music, and I'm like, fuck, I wish they would play Ozzy or Iron Maiden. Long hair, just the depressed, just always pissed off little kid.
Oh, yeah,
you know
American.
What I mean?
You
I was
got
just
him turned American,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know what I mean. I was just getting into Metallica and shit, and we're at some Mexican wedding. I hated. I was a terrible kid. I really was, man. You look at all our pictures from weddings and stuff. There's everyone looks normal, and there I am, all depressed in the wedding fucking outfit that they put me in, and my hair's long. Yeah, my hair's long, and I just want to go play music or something.
But it seemed like there's some rebellion in there. Where you just had that rebellious nature.
Totally. Yeah.
Did you rebel against everything? Do you feel like? Like you didn't want to be part. Like I've never wanted to be. Part of me has always not wanted to be part of a group. Like there's something about me. Like I'm happy to be in a group. I'm happy to have a group of friends, stuff like that. But when it really comes to somebody being like, "Oh, you're part of this," like no. Immediately, I want to find a different angle or my own angle or something. I don't. There's something about me. I do not. I don't. It does. I don't feel. I don't know. I don't like being part of a group or being said that I'm part of a group.
That would be hard to say because I was, forming a group,
Right,
like
you're-
music group. So
right.
we were part of a group, you know, and we were part of the metal scene, and you know,
But you guys
So-
were outliers at that time, it seemed like,
in
huh?
in the area,
In the area.
for the Mexicans. So I'm in 6th grade, and I'm my grandmother and my mom had kids at the same time. So I had
Now, is that
aunts.
like a
I
Mexican
had-
thing? What's
dude,
that called?
My mom had kids early, and my grandmother had kids late. You know, so I had 2 aunts, Alice and Patty, that were 2 years older than me. But everyone thought they were my sisters.
Yeah.
They were 2 years older than me. We were tight, and we were tight. You know, when my stepdad was around, I couldn't wait to go to my grandmother's house, which was 3 blocks away, and stay there and hang out with Alice and Patty, my aunts.
Because it's fun.
It was so much fun, and I loved my grandma to death, and my grandfather. That was heaven being
Right.
there. I just wanted to be at my grandmother's house all the time. I didn't want to be in the same house with, you know, because me and my brother, we had, you know, your classic sibling rivalry. You know,
Right.
he's 4 years older than me, always trying to humiliate me in front of the neighborhood kids. You know, all the classic
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
You know, so I hated him too.
Yeah.
You know, so I hated him. I hated my stepfather. My mom was always working, and it was tough. So that was really growing up. That was
that pot,
My
yeah.
nightmares that I have today.
Yeah.
The nightmares I have today always take place at that house. With some different shit.
Yeah.
There's always take place at it's that house. Like I find myself in the house I grew up in, but with like modern people and shit
Right.
don't make sense. And one of them,
But the stress, there's some, it's just such a, just like
the nightmares were like I find myself, some things you never forget.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one nightmare I'll never forget. And this is like common where I'm sitting in the living room with my stepdad there and like my mom, and we're watching TV, and then I look around and everyone's gone. And then when everyone's gone, that's when this evil force from you can't see, that's like under the bed, around the corner, in the hallway, and it's coming to get me. It's like this evil force, and I'm all alone. And I run to the living room, look out the window, and I'll never forget this video. It's like a video in my head of my mom and running away with my brother and my sister, and they're like leaving me, and I'm in this house, and I can't get out of this house. I'll never forget that one. So it wasn't a great childhood,
Yeah.
you know, but you know,
But that was like a pot. It sounded like such a simmering pot. It just sounds like such a place where, like, yeah, if your stepdad, if you can't see him or what he's doing, then there's always this fucking uncertainty.
It was tough. It was tough, man. It was tough. And when my stepdad was gone, it was tough for my mom. She had to raise 3 kids. He left the country. He went back to Mexico.
No.
Left his credit card debt.
Of course he did.
He left it and everything, and it fucked my mom up financially. She was making $150 a week, so she was always working overtime. She worked hard. My mom worked fucking hard for us. And on Fridays, no matter what, on Fridays we're going to McDonald's.
Really?
No
Yeah.
matter, we were like, hell yeah.
What would
That
you
was
get?
like,
Do you remember what you got?
shit.
This is the same. My mom would take
Filet-o
it
fish,
sometime.
baby. Filet-o
Damn.
fish.
Fucking what an asshole.
Yeah, I love that
What
filet-o
a
fish.
fancy ass kid.
Fuck yeah, dude. I still eat those. That's still my dessert. Like if I want to cheat, I'm going to go get that filet-o fish. Are you kidding me?
What fucking asshole kid
Yeah.
gets the fish, dude? I didn't even know we could order the fish till I was like 30 years old. I thought you had to be like a real adult.
Because that was my mom's shit. My mom got the filet-o fish, so I got into it too. I was never really into Big Macs, but I do like even still today, I'll
Yeah.
order like
The
if I'm just gonna,
cheeseburgers, those are
dude,
good.
if I'm just there's just a little pair of them,
yeah,
you know, a pair of them. You
They're
know
like
what I mean?
tits,
if
yeah.
you're high as shit and you're like, fuck it, it's Sunday, gonna watch some good Netflix. I'll go get me some filet-o fish and 2 cheeseburgers and a large fry and maybe that hot fudge sundae. No nuts, triple fudge. They're going to come back and say, we can't do triple fudge because there won't be room for ice cream. And I always come back, I'll sacrifice the ice cream. Pull some of that ice cream out and replace it with fudge. I just want like half of it fudge. You know what I mean? Make it fit. It's always the same argument. They go, I got to say triple fudge. We can't do triple fudge. It won't fit. Sacrifice the cream, baby. Don't put no nuts in that shit.
Yeah, dude, no, we don't have room for these nuts.
No nuts. It distracts from the
nuts
fudge.
enough.
It's that hot fudge. It's that hot fudge that I really want.
That is good, man.
But every now and then I'll do that, and it's horrible,
But you see, y'all went every Friday. Y'all went out to the McDonald's.
McDonald's right there
Yeah.
on Bristol and 17th, and there was a karate studio next door.
Wow.
Where the white kids, because that was like in the outskirts where white people started. There's some parts of Santa Ana where the white people didn't want to admit it, where they actually live in Santa Ana. It says that on your mail, but they'll say, "Nah, we live in Tustin or we live in Orange." Like, bitch, you still live in Santa Ana. Let me look at your mail. That's still say, but the white people were ashamed to say Santa Ana because everybody
Really?
knew, like, ooh, he lives in Santa. It's like saying you live in East LA,
Right.
And so then we had this karate school next door,
Mm-hmm.
and man, I looked at it. To me, that was just unattainable. They
Like what,
they
it seemed
charged
like-
like $30 a month.
Oh, yeah, it was
And I
something only the
oh
rich
my
kids
God,
could do.
$30 a
Yeah,
month.
karate was
Are
for
you
rich
kidding
kids.
me? $30 a month in 1980 was probably about a $200 a month. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that was never going to happen. But man, I was fascinated with that karate. I was afraid to go in there and look. And that
Like, what
kinda,
about it though? Like, what about it? Like the what?
you just I think naturally everybody wants to be able to defend themselves,
Right.
Naturally, everybody. If there was a button you could press that gave you self-defense skills, everybody would press it. There wouldn't be anybody
That's
who
true.
didn't press it.
That's
right.
true.
But you can press it.
Right.
All you got to do is go to the gym. That's pressing it.
Right.
But instead of taking like half a second to press it, take 6 months, a year, 2 years.
Yeah.
But it's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So I thought it was unattainable. I'm like, I would really love to learn how to fight because in school, I got in fights in school. People try to
Now,
kick
were
my
you
ass.
like? Would you make fun of people? Or were you like an asshole? Or were you just kind of like just different? You think?
It all depends, man. It all depends, man. I was an asshole if I could be,
Yeah.
but if I couldn't be.
Were you an instigator? Maybe.
It all depends on the teacher.
Right.
If I had a teacher who I gave 2 teachers a nervous breakdowns and they quit.
Okay. Well.
They were a Miss Franklin, 8th grade history, and a Miss Aspen, 10th grade English.
And
Both
you
of
feel
them.
bad about that?
I do feel bad about that. I would kick my ass if I could, if.
Did you ever
if I
reach out
could
to him and
jump
apologize or not?
No. But they were the kind of teachers that were super loving and wanted everyone to express themselves. So then I just became the class clown and just got everyone just involved and drove them fucking nuts, but same year, 10th grade, first period, Mr. Enders, shit, he ain't taking shit. Mr. Enders,
he shut it
so
down.
I'm quiet as fuck.
Oh, I think I remember
From
you
the
telling me
get-go.
about this, actually.
Yeah, okay.
I think I
maybe
remember you
tell
telling me
you
about
that.
this.
So it all depends. It all
Right.
depends on who was teaching me or who I'm around. Like I played Little League Baseball and I sucked. I led the league in strikeouts. I was terrible. I remember cracking one ball, a pop fly to center field. The guy caught it. It was like right to the guy, and the guy caught it. And
you
that
thought it
was
was
the
a home run.
greatest. Dude, I don't care that he caught it. I just thought it was great. That was the highlight
bro.
of my Little League. I cracked a ball and. But you know what I was good at? I was good at bunting.
Really?
Because Little League.
What an asshole.
Yeah,
that
I would
bunts.
bunt, and they would always overthrow it or throw it wrong to
Yeah.
first. So I'd get to first or second base
And
off
then-
bunts. But if I had to swing, it was like I was cursed. I could not connect with that
Yeah.
motherfucker. But
That's my same thing.
But-
One time I hit it out in the field and I was like, that's a fucking home run.
And I was
it
always
was
the
literally
scrub.
just right over the side. It was like, it was the easiest.
I was always a scrub. But there's a cutoff age where like you can't at 13 you can't play Little League no more.
Right.
You gotta start playing like junior high school ball. It was like 12 or 13
Yeah,
or
you
11,
can't.
something
dude, 'cause
like
if
that.
Somebody will end up being a pervert or something.
But my birthday
can't
was
be
at a
30
spot.
still paying it.
My birthday was
Paying
at a
it.
spot where they're like, everyone, most of my teammates weren't
You got
allowed
to hang around.
But I got to hang out one more year, but I didn't want to because I sucked. But the coach said, dude, hang out one more year. You're going to have advantage over these kids. Most of the kids are going to be young, and now you're going to be good. I mean, you'll be better.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't want to do it, but I did. They
And?
talked me into it.
Were you
And
better?
I still sucked. But because I was older than the kids,
Yeah.
they wanted me as the leader.
Oh.
So I still suck, but now I'm the leader.
So you were like William
so now
Wallace,
I'm like
but
an
no
asshole.
skills.
So I just became an asshole. I was just an asshole. And You know, they play the where do you put the worst baseball player? You have the one guy who
field.
sucks. No,
Right field?
Right field.
Right.
Because most people are right-handed,
yeah, I
and
was
they're
in
gonna
right field,
bat
dude.
it to left hand. So the
Dude, I was so bad I was in right field and I thought it was left field. That's how it
Well,
was.
we had a guy named Raphael, young guy, Raphael. He played right field, and not only was he the worst player on the team, but he had one of them plastic gloves. He bought a glove. He bought his glove like at a liquor store. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? If you bought like tennis shoes or a glove at a liquor store, damn, you're real poor.
Yeah.
Even we weren't that poor.
Right.
We bought the shitty shoes, but
we got the real
But we
glove.
never would buy. My mom would never let us buy shoes at a liquor store.
Yeah.
That's where she drew the line.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah,
this
one guy in our group, he had like a hat and he just taped it to his fucking hand. Like, bro, that thing. And his dad painted it brown.
So this guy, I was frustrated because I sucked, but I'm like this leader, and
Right.
I'm just an asshole to everybody. So I would
You're like Napoleon Bonaparte.
one time after practice, I'm just talking shit on Raphael, the worst player, talking shit on his plastic
The worst
glove.
player. So
You know,
only
because-
second to you, though, on the team.
Well, yeah, he was worse than me.
Right,
He
'cause
was
you could
worse
probably play in
because
the-
I could at least catch.
Right.
You know, he was striking out just like, I don't know who
Right.
struck out more. We were the strikeout kings.
Yeah.
We were leading the league. But I can catch the goddamn ball.
Right.
I could catch it. And I could throw okay. They let me pitch. I pitched one.
Y'all sound like the worst fucking team ever.
Yeah, totally. Bad News Bears, they would have fucked us up. But I started talking shit after practice, and I'm just being a dick. And he just snapped, and he got me in a headlock and put me on the grass, and he wouldn't let go. He wasn't punching me, but he wouldn't let go. And I was trapped in a headlock, and I couldn't get out. I was panicking, telling him, please, let me go, let me go. He totally humiliated
And what's that move
and
called
I quit
in jiu-jitsu
baseball.
now?
Right there, I fucking walked home and I
You
quit.
fucking tapped
I go, I'm done, son. This guy, I learned my lesson. I learned my
got
lesson.
choked
You
out.
can't be talking shit like that.
He put you in that plastic glove, baby, and he
Dude,
fucking took you to the
man,
bank.
He had that rage where he was not
Was not gonna lose.
He was not going to let go of my head.
Wow.
And I could not get my fucking head out. And
Would you be able to take him now? You
I'm
think
like,
if you guys
fuck
rolled?
baseball. Unless he's doing jujitsu, I think you'd want to. It'd be a good bet to put the money on my side, but anything could happen. He might cold cock me. You know what I mean?
Dude, that's
Nothing's ever guaranteed.
So
it's all about who throws that first punch.
right. If you weren't at the McDonald's, do you think you get into karate? Do you think you get into that universe or not? Somehow you still
Say
find
that
your
again?
way? If you weren't, if your mother doesn't take you to the McDonald's on Fridays, do you think you end up in that universe, that world?
Yeah, man. Once I saw Bruce Lee, that was it. Yeah, I became a Bruce Lee fanatic. But I never thought I could afford martial arts.
Right.
So I got really into Bruce Lee. I got fanatically into him, but I just never thought I was always broke.
Yeah.
Even
Because you have the suit, you have the gi and everything.
yeah, all my extra money went to buying musical equipment. I always had drum because I was a drummer originally. I always had drum equipment to buy, and everything was just all about buying musical equipment, getting a car so I could transport my drums to practice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Make it
never
happen.
had any money for martial arts at all.
Yeah.
Until I moved to Hollywood for music, and I thought it was 1991, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna conquer the music business. So I got to look good while I'm on stage. So I went to a gym first of all to try to lift weights to look good. It lasted 10 minutes. I said, okay, I can't do that. So I go, man, maybe I could afford some martial arts. So I looked at some martial arts schools around where I lived and my work, found a karate place, started doing karate, and I loved it. So
And right when you got in there, did the people who were running the facility or whatever, did they think that you excelled at this? They're like, oh, this is something that you do well, or did you feel that or anything?
They tell everybody that.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
true.
They just blow a lot of smoke up your ass. And,
Yeah.
you're gonna be a killer. You're gonna be a fighting machine. Look at that stance. Look at
Yeah.
all that. And they told me
Next time you're trying to turn yourself like in a Japanese or something, you know?
They told me, my instructor told me, he said, I was a white belt, and my first stripe, my first green stripe, took a little test, had to do one kata, and he said that I have an awesome overhand knife strike. So it was one of these, boom. So I was like, oh shit, that's my shit. So I wasn't a kid. I was 22 years old, thinking a grown man thinking that you better watch out for that overhand knife strike.
And now you had a name to it too. You had a term.
I was a grown man. So I was training 6 months. I was training 6 months. And if someone told me they were training 6 months jiu-jitsu and we were going to roll, to me, 6 months, there's nothing you're going to be able to do. That's actually nothing. 6 months. But, or you could look at it like, damn, that's 6 months, man. 6 months straight?
Right.
Damn, that's a lot. It's all how you look at it. So to me, I was looking at it like, I've been doing this 6 fucking months, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a king, bro.
So I went back to Orange County, back to Santa Ana for Alice in Chains was playing at the Irvine Brent Event Center. It was like it was their theater at the college.
Fucking warming up that overhand knife strike, huh?
Dude, I was in a van with all my buddies, and they heard about me doing karate, and we're in a van on our way to Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
And they're like, man, we hear you're doing karate. And I was like, fuck yeah, I am. And they were fucking impressed.
Really?
I was showing them that overhand knife strike. I like the reverse punch too. Boom.
Yeah.
I'll come at you straight to the solar plexus. Knock your wind out. Steal on you.
Now, once they were impressed, then you're probably like, oh, this is cool because it makes my buddies cool.
Yeah. They were so impressed with me. So we get to Alice in Chains. I go upstairs to go to the bathroom. And when I walk out, all my friends are looking for me. They're like coming at me like in a mob going, there you are. There's some guys down at the mosh pit. They're starting shit. So they left this situation
to come get you.
Come get me.
They all came to get me, baby.
And then they got me, and I was like, "Let's do this, man." I was leading the pack, walking down the steps to the floor, going, "Where they at?" Thinking I'm gonna hit them with the knife, and then we're gonna go straight to the solar plexus. I'm gonna hit them with the knife.
It's like Double Dragon. You have like 2 moves,
dude. Luckily, we never found them. Because they would have fucking thrashed me probably, you know what I mean? Luckily.
You would have been in. It
would have been one of those stories when the old friends when your old buddies get together, like every 10 years, and you always remember that one story. That one story. They would have never forgot that one story.
Dude, we had a story one time. This kid had a birthday party at his house, right? And his parents got a sauna, or not a sauna. What was a thing of hot water in your yard? What's that thing called?
A jacuzzi?
A jacuzzi.
Okay.
So his parents got a jacuzzi, dude. In Louisiana, first of all of Louisiana is a fucking jacuzzi, right? The entire state is made out of jacuzzi, right? Like that. You could step in your front yard as a fucking jacuzzi. Have you ever used that on stage?
You know? You ever said that? Dude, that's hilarious.
But it's so... We're all in his yard, dude, and it's 95 degrees outside. We're sitting in the middle of a hot yard, 90-degree water, right? Just boiling for my buddy's birthday party, right? Just fucking making just buddy soup. We're just celebrating this party because his parents got this fucking jacuzzi. Well, some kid in our school had learned how to jerk off, and the rest of us had never seen it, right? So this dude's like secretly jerking off under the water, And this guy was like 30 years old. He shouldn't have been in school anymore. Like this one you could just stay in school until eventually you got a job as like a janitor or something. You come to like you come to 8th grade or 6th grade for the 15th time, and finally like you're a fucking janitor. You're hired. You're not in school. You're over here by the brooms.
Yeah.
And anyway, this dude had been jerking off under the water, but nobody knew. Then he stood up and started just ejaculating into the fucking jacuzzi, right?
Oh, shit.
None of us had ever seen this. We didn't even know this could happen, right? So everybody thinks that this guy, CJ, is melting out of his penis. Like it was going to keep happening until he just got smaller and smaller and smaller and just disappeared. So this kid named Will grabs onto his penis to stop it from fucking...
What?
Yeah. And that hurts, dude. If you're ejaculating, if you're spraying
sensitive.
out,
You gotta,
especially if
take
it's
it easy.
And they weren't even that close. They weren't even that good of buddies. If a buddy maybe grabs your penis with two hands, little different. Some guy you don't super know that well, and he didn't have real strong grip, so it was still kind of happening,
Yeah, you got to squeeze at the base.
This guy had no. Yeah, he didn't have a lot.
Cock ring.
Yeah, this Will kid didn't have a lot of technique.
The best shit would be like to take that knife strike and just go up on your prostate,
right, straight up,
boom, right there.
Shut it off at the pass.
You shut it off.
Yeah, shut it off at the pass, dude.
You ever do that?
No, but this kid had no plan. He went straight for the very end of the penis, 2 hands, stopped the semen from flying out. And this kid just fucking, I guess it could have been an overhand knife strike right into his neck, bro. And that kid was never the same, the kid that got hit. So can you even imagine holding somebody's dick you don't really know that well?
Yeah.
and somebody hit you with a fucking overhand knife strike to the neck, bro.
Yeah,
Maybe he could have turned it around.
When I was a kid in my neighborhood with all the kids around, we didn't call it jerking off. We called it playing with yourself.
Oh, really?
And we were all open with it. We're like, damn, are you gonna go play with yourself? I'm gonna go play with myself. We were just, and there was
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, like you gonna go play with yourself. It was no big deal at all.
Wow, there wasn't a lot of shame.
No, there was zero shame. We were proud of it, how good it felt. And we didn't understand orgasms. We're like 10 or 12. I just thought you got tired. Like you did it, it felt really good, and then you get tired. And I hated that shit. I remember sitting with my friends going, wouldn't it be great if you could play with yourself and you never got tired?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah. I go, why do you get tired? Because you'd nut, but nothing would come out. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If something came out, then you go, oh, shit.
Yeah.
But
that's them Caspers, dude, just blowing Caspers.
And we went to Catholic school and catechism. We went to regular school, but catechism was once a week. You went to like a Catholic school to get your first communion, and you learn how to do confession and all that shit. And man, that freaked me the fuck out when you
heard that it was bad to do that.
Oh shit! At first I wasn't sure because I wasn't sure, so I asked my buddy's uncle, who ended up being gay, and now looking back on, of course he was gay. He ended up moving to Frisco, and he was all into Barbra Streisand.
Right.
It was obvious, but I didn't know back then. I didn't know if a guy is into Barbra Streisand, he's gay.
Right.
I didn't know that.
Right, just like he likes different music.
Idea.
Yeah,
I had no idea. And but anyways, I asked him. I said, "Is playing with yourself a sin?" And he goes, oh, yeah. He's like 4 or 5 years. He goes, yep, you're going to have to confess that. I'm like, how the fuck am I going to confess that to some strange priest in a dark room? And I was sweating. It was freaking me out. So they teach you that what you say is you say all your sins, and then at the end you say, please, Father, forgive me for all these and my past sins, right? And then he gives you like your homework, 7 Hail Marys, 4 Our Fathers, and you have a list of prayers that you got to just hit. And so I asked my catechism teacher, I'm like, you know that part where it says, forgive me for all these and my past sins?
Does that cover?
Does it cover?
Right.
Because it only covers the sins that you don't remember. I'm like, fuck.
Damn.
God damn it.
Because you remember those.
Yeah, so I'm like, shit. So how am I going to fucking... You're
looking for a loophole.
Yeah, exactly. So I would practice. I would say, I lied to my mother. I stole candy. I fought with my brother. I played with myself. I yelled at my grandmother. I was just going to blaze. I'm just going to... If I could just... But you had to practice that shit. You know what I mean? Because I didn't know if he was going to ask questions about it.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was going to say, hold on.
Hold on, yeah.
Would you say, back it up a bit? You what with yourself?
You're like, I stole candy.
Yeah, and the crazy
out of my own nuts.
The crazy thing, I would just blow past it, and I ended up becoming an altar boy.
Wow.
At my first stint as an altar boy, because we had a neighborhood church, my first stint was to get to heaven for real. I believed in all the Catholic religion and all that shit. And my life sucked so bad at that point. Like this was when I was like maybe 8, 9, and 10. That me and my friend Matt, my first best friend Matt, we were both altar boys. We're like, we're going to heaven.
Yeah, Matt, we got to get out of here.
We were just like, we're going to heaven.
Yeah.
And then,
we're going soon, bro. We're out of here.
Yeah, once my priest asked us if we wanted to go get ice cream.
Ooh.
And we were like, fuck yeah. Let's go get some ice. We were like, hell yeah. We didn't really know that priests molest kids.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker was throwing game at us.
Was he really?
Yeah.
Was he handsome or what did he look like?
He was bald,
Yeah. Typical.
He's all right. I would say he's like a 7, you know what I mean? A low 7.
Okay,
you know what I
low
mean?
7, boy.
A Santa Ana 9.
Okay, there we go.
You know what I mean? And all it's
and he was
relative.
Latino priest?
No, he's a white guy.
White guy, yeah.
And he asked us for ice cream. We were just thinking about the fucking ice cream. Are you kidding me? But when my friend Matt's aunt found out, she was like, oh, no, I'm going with you guys. So she cock blocked. She went, and he was all fucking pissed off. But he never had game.
Right.
He never had real game because he just threw the ice cream. He never threw anything else
He didn't
out.
have a fucking overhand knife strike. He didn't.
Yeah, he had no game. So then I found out that there was other religions. I'm like, there was like, well, what's a Jew? And there's all these other religions. What's a Muslim? And then at like 11, I thought, okay, there's all these other goddamn religions. I thought everybody was Catholic,
right?
Because everybody in my neighborhood was Catholic.
Was Catholic, of course.
And the Catholic holidays, you know, they coincided with what you see on TV.
Yeah,
they had Christmas specials and shit, Easter specials. So I thought everybody was Catholic. Then once I found out that there's all these other religions, that's when I became atheist right away. I said,
really?
There's no God. You know, how do we know we got the truth? You know,
right.
And they're saying that, you know, like born again Christians are saying we're going to hell.
Well, how do you feel now about it?
So I became atheist and started writing satanic lyrics and shit like that. Got into Slayer, got everything evil. Shout at the Devil, Motley Crue, Dio, all that shit started. And then I got into deep. Then we got into the German thrash scene, which was super satanic. The German thrash scene was super satanic.
World War II was because of that.
Oh man! So I really went balls deep into that, thinking that I bought a satanic Bible so I could write lyrics and shit. I started, you know, my
right.
band,
So it fit with your whole vibe.
I was like, fuck God and all that shit.
Well, what do you feel about it now? Do you think?
Well, I'm going to get to that. Then I decided to become. Then I was just like a thief, you know. My mom didn't have any money. We didn't have any. I had to steal. We had to go to department stores and, you know, steal shit, steal candy, just steal, you know, little shit like candy and then we decided I was so pissed off at the church. I'm like, you know what? We'd still go to church though, and we'd see these little collection little boxes where you go in front of a statue and you put like a $1 bill or a $5 bill and then pray. Like they were like getting money. I go, these motherfuckers stealing money. You know, I was mad at the church. Wow. So it was me and my friend Matt. We decided, why don't we figure out how to open up that steel box and take some of that money and go play some
steel box. I love how that's what it's called.
Yeah,
let's steel box.
Let's go play Miss Pac-Man. We wanted some like
you just want
candy money, candy money, and video games. Miss Pac-Man, Stargate, that kind of shit.
Because when you're a kid, that is money. That's the world to you because other kids have that money. Like that's all it was. I remember at recess, like my friends could go to the candy window and buy candy, and I couldn't. Yeah. And that determined when you were a kid if you had money or not. Yeah. That was
we had to get candy.
Yeah.
Baby Ruth, all that shit. Yeah.
Sprees, you ever have sprees?
No, I wasn't that into that. So we would right before they closed down the church, me and my friend Matt would be sitting in the pews and we'd have like screwdrivers and shit in our pants. And as soon as then we would dip out under the pews and hide and wait for the security guy to close the doors.
Wow.
You know, they would lock the doors and then the church was gone.
It sounds like a Nicolas Cage movie.
The church, it's like Ocean's 11 and shit. So as soon as we were in the church and it was locked up, but you could easily, it was one of those, you know, the doors that you could open up.
Push and open.
Yeah, we just, you know, but they're locked, it's locked from the outside. So we would open up those little steel boxes and take like $3 and change, or we'd be, oh man, if there was a $5 bill in there, oh man, we'd go straight to the liquor store where they had video games. We'd play pinball or whatever, buy some candy, and we were stoked. And then after a while we thought, where's the real money in the church? Dang. The real money was during church when they'd have the collection plate.
The big hitters.
That was where all that and all that. And when we were both legit altar boys, we would help out the priests and we would take that money in the back, but we never thought of dipping into it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we thought, damn, are we too old to be altar boys? So now we're like 12, 13. We're like, let's start being altar boys again.
No way.
So we would be altar boys just so we could dip into some of that money. So what we would do is we would
that's
church,
espionage.
Yeah, after church. We'd take our robes off and there'd be like a little hallway where all the robes were, and we'd pretend like we left. But we would be hiding in the closet.
Damn.
We would just stay and hide in the closet until the priest locked up and everyone left. We'd come out of the closet. We knew where that plate was because they just left it there till the next morning. And we'd grab like $10 or whatever, and then we go play video games. We did that all the goddamn time. We were going to church every day. My mom
must have been politicians.
Our moms were so proud of us.
I bet.
Oh my God, our kids go to church every day. Like, hell yeah, we go every day. We play video games every day too. You ever notice that?
Meanwhile, you're getting cavities from all the candy.
And there was this, we would sit there and we were just like so like not into God or anything. We'd sit there and it was quiet and there was a bunch of old people ready to die at church. This is like Wednesday night church.
Yeah.
They're going every day. They're ready to go. So we would
at liftoff.
The funny thing for us, we can't be up in front of the church, sitting there with the priest laughing. So we were sitting next to each other. We were trying to make each other laugh. And we would go, third row to the left, fifth guy on the right. And then it would take him a while to figure that out. And then we would have a nickname already for this man. And we would just have a nickname. Like one nickname I'll never forget was just like, dude, it's like 105. And he just had a gigantic head and he's got all these warts and giant things on his head.
Gross.
And I said,
Gross.
fifth row, second guy on the right, planet head. And then you would look, it would take you a while to find it. And you go, you know what I mean? Yeah. So we were trying to make each other laugh. And then we got caught. They figured out that once after a while, they figured out we weren't taking all the money, just enough to play, like maybe $10.
Oh, I'm sure they figured out the two shady fucking altar boys were stealing money.
They didn't know who was fucking taking the money.
So how they figured out?
So they left the note. One night we went in, and there was a note. Go, please, whoever's taking this money, please stop. And we're like, whatever. We took the money, we were gone. So one night, then they finally figured out it had to be us. So we were hiding in the closet, and then instead of hearing the door slam, the priest, when the priest left, we heard his footsteps walking down to it was like a lot of closets, and he was opening up closets, and you can hear him moving shit around in the closet, and he was getting closer and closer to us, and we're like, oh shit, we're fucked.
I love that feeling as a kid, knowing you were, it was
shit.
so
Here
crazy.
It's coming. He's going through all the closets. Eventually he's gonna get to us. So he finally opened up our closet, and he opened up the robes, and I went out, boo! And I scared him, and I looked at him, and I go, we scared him, and then we just ran out. And he didn't chase us or nothing, we just ran out, and we took off, and we never went back to church ever again. And then
So you just thought he thinks we're trying to scare him, but he probably realized.
No. That's all I had, was what am I going to say? So it was like, boo, we scared him. Look, we scared him. And we just ran, just like we were trying to scare him and shit.
Yeah.
And
You
they
think
never
he
came
knew?
after us. Oh, yeah.
He knew.
They figured it out.
Like, what an asshole kid steals all our money and then tries to scare me.
So at that point, we started taking nickels and started hammering them.
And making quarters for video games.
Yep. We're like, fuck it. We had it too good for a while. Now we had to think.
Now you had to go back
to
now you had to go back to the think tank.
Yeah. But the God thing. So I was a full-blown atheist up until I was 21, and I had moved to Hollywood. Right when we moved to Hollywood, me and my buddy, the guy I moved up there with, were walking up Sunset, and he's like maybe 20 yards in front of me, and it was just every weekend. We're just there to find a girl to drive us home. That's it. That's all that was about.
Yeah.
So he's walking. We're all ready. We're getting there. Right in front of the Roxy, there was this dirty hippie, beard, smelly, dirty guy playing guitar.
Yeah.
And he had this sign. It was all about like save the forest, X amount of trees are getting chopped down every day. We need to save the forest.
Yeah.
And he's singing
Antifa.
like
I think
that.
they call him Antifa now.
No. Antifa is actually fascist. They're just pretending to be not anti-fascist. It's anyways, but I walked right by him, and I looked at him, and I'm thinking, and I got my hair down to my waist. I took 30 minutes to blow dry it. Damn. It's all fucking perfect, right? Looking like dudes from Death Angel.
Like a poodle, man.
Like Chris Cornell. Just my hair was perfect. Took 30 minutes to comb down to my waist, son. You know what I mean? Big hoop earrings and shit. I was ready. This was the
You had on big hoop earrings?
Dude, this was between 88 and 91. Damn, that was just the magical years for anybody.
Huh?
For anybody that had long hair.
For
anybody that had long hair, you know what I mean. So I passed this guy, and I'm like, man, I'm thinking. Anytime I see a hippie like that, I'm like, dude, all you gotta do is wash up. You got the hair. You have no competition. Just fucking blow dry that shit. Wash it. And that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, damn, he's just wasting his life. And as I'm thinking that, as I'm passing by, he stops playing. He just walks up to me and he says, if I guessed your birthday, will you sit here and listen to me? I'm like, yeah, right. And he looked at me and he said, May 15th. I'm like, what the fuck? How is that possible?
Was it your birthday?
That is my birthday.
Wow.
And I thought, maybe he got lucky. And I said, John, my buddy goes, he's like 20 yards. And I go, come here. I said, guess his birthday. And he looked at him and he said, March 31st. We're like, what the fuck? fuck? What the fuck? You know the odds of that happening?
Yeah.
And then he
Unbelievable.
just started talking about the forest and all this shit. And I didn't listen to none of that shit. All I was thinking, like, how the fuck did he do that?
And how did he do it?
I don't know. But there was to me there was only two ways he could have did that.
Some divine intervention.
There's some guys can see thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about my birthday. Maybe I projected it, and some guys can see thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
or some voice, some kind of
Divine
spirit
intervention told him.
or entity or something.
Something told him.
Those are the only, so from that point on, I'm like, okay, there's more to this life than we know.
Right.
That where this is not just, there's some other dimensional type shit going on here.
Right.
You know what I mean? At that point.
We're
so at
not
that
alone.
point, yeah. So at that point I thought, okay, maybe there is some kind of spirit thing going on. So I was open to it. That just blew my mind.
Now, and if you don't get open to that at that moment, then you don't, I mean, because your mind is pretty expanded in the way that things are possible or things, or, you question a lot
I
of
believe
stuff.
in a creator now. Oh, now I've done enough drugs. I've seen it. You know what I mean? When you do DMT,
Oh, yeah?
you know that there's that when you do 5 grams of mushrooms, you see the other dimensions. You see them, and that's not in your head. Like, oh, it's all in your head. Like, dude, there's no way. What I'm